And this is the deadliest school shooting in the U.S. since 2018, when 17 people were shot and killed in Parkland, Florida, and a few months later, when 10 were shot and killed in Santa Fe, Texas. Manuel Oliver's son Joaquin was killed in the Parkland shooting. He has since co-founded Change the Ref, a nonprofit hoping to end gun violence. Manuel, you're here in D.C. because you wanted to meet with, and by the way, thank you for being with us. We've had you on before. Always appreciate coming on. You were here in D.C. You were hoping to meet with President Biden about his gun safety plan. I want to talk to you about that in a moment, but first, let me talk to you about this latest shooting in Michigan and get your reaction to the fact that these parents have now been charged. Is it time to send this kind of message to parents out there that you could be held responsible for the actions of a child school shooter?
Absolutely. Actually, I think that's a small victory that we see that happening. Sometimes you stay with whoever was able to shot the gun and that's it, and you don't go back to what happened before that and how this minor had access to a gun. So I'm very glad that this time they are not only doing that, but also putting it out there on the media so everyone knows that that's also something that could happen.
And I'm sure you've been following this case, and so often we talk about the warning signs that were missed, the red flags that were missed. In this case, the accused gunman was searching for ammunition. He was drawing pictures that were alarming to the teachers. He was writing the words, "Help me." What do you make of what happened here with how the school officials handled this? And does it remind you of warning signs that were missed before Parkland?
Oh yeah, 100%. Actually, I see a lot of red flags and warnings here in this particular case. Yeah, the school they had the chance to do something to prevent this from happening. For some reason, they didn't. And now they will be part of a problem. So we should work on that area too. Like how anyone that received that message of this is not good, we should say something, and then didn't say anything, I think it should be part of the being guilty in all these situations. Yeah.
Yeah. And Manuel, you were here in D.C. to stand out in front of the White House this past week. There you are. There's some video of you right there. You were hoping to meet with President Biden about what happened to your son Joaquin and all of the other lives that were lost at Parkland and all of the lives that have been lost since to these senseless school shooters. What do you hope to accomplish in meeting with the president, meeting with the team at the White House, and are you hearing any updates in terms of whether you're going to get that meeting?
No updates. But the whole thing is that I keep fighting against this for the last 4 years. This, for my family, it's already beyond Joaquin. 150,000 people have died since our son was shot 4 times inside a school. So what have we learned from this experience? Probably nothing. When I saw this happening a few days ago, I decided to, you know what, I've been saying and preaching enough is enough. So what if I really act right now? Like whatever I have done hasn't been enough. And I've done a lot and you know it. Yeah. But the message is not strong enough. So I'm sick of this and I need to do something. So I took a plane, came to D.C., and I decided that I wanted to talk to Biden because Biden promised me and my wife, Patricia, that he will know how to fix this, that he already did it and he will be able to do it again. So that promise, I need to know what happened to it. And I've been standing outside of the White House trying to get this conversation. I was planning to fly to Florida tomorrow, and that's not going to happen. I'll be here. I'll stay here. This is my beauty. Okay, this is not something that I like doing or want to do. This is something that I must do for Joaquin and for all those kids in Michigan.
Yeah, and we were just showing pictures of Joaquin a few moments ago. A beautiful young man. I mean, just a beautiful kid. And when I look at his picture, it reminds me of the pictures we were just showing a few moments ago, the young teenagers who died in Michigan. Just gorgeous kids, beautiful kids. And they're no longer with us. It's just astounding. It's heartbreaking. I want to show you something that we just picked up on social media in the last several minutes. We'll put this up on screen. This is a tweet from Republican Congressman Thomas Massey from Kentucky with the caption, "Merry Christmas, P.S. Santa, bring more ammo," or "please bring ammo." He tweeted this today, right after this school shooting that happened in Michigan. And there's this whole family there holding, you know, these assault rifles and whatnot. I mean, what's your reaction when you see something like this?
Well, that's a huge part of a problem. Someone elected leaders like this one that think that, I don't know if they're trying to be ironic, funny, or what, but it is the worst taste ever that you could handle on social media. This is also something that should teach us who should we elect and not. It's a very nasty post, and I think that...
Does something like that, does it cause more pain for folks like you?
No, listen,
okay. Pain
is not the problem here, because the way that we treat this, and this is probably a message for those families in Michigan, I have a reason to keep on being a father, a strong reason to keep on being a father. And it didn't happen, I didn't feel this immediately after I lost Joaquin, but you start feeling that urgency of doing other things as a father. I don't feel sad when I see these kind of weird messages from people or threats that I receive them all day long. I feel that I need to do a better job. It's not working, and the reason why it's not working is the amount of victims that I just mentioned. So if you're doing something and it's not working, and the result is more victims, well, you need to change the strategy. And
gives you more motivation.
Yes, I want my pain with me. Don't get rid of my pain. And it's actually irrelevant how I feel. Because you know what? A month ago, I heard from a judge how my kid was shot twice, still alive, and the shooter came back and shot him again 2 more times. So do you think I'm going to be concerned about my pain and my sadness? No. This is about the pain of my son, suffering, dying, thinking about me, thinking about his mother. I need to stay outside of the White House, in front of the White House, to talk to the president for a year? I will. But I'm going to get that conversation. I want to see what's happening. I want to see if there is a plan. And if there's a plan, I want everyone to see it.
All right. Manuel Oliver, I think you're going to succeed. We appreciate it. Keep us posted. Let us know.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.